All right, so Toy Story 4, it's out. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but if you have seen it, this is my spoiler review, and that's a spoiler warning if you haven't seen it. Spoiler warnings don't take that long, so that's done now. You've been warned. This also isn't going to be a play-by-play. Just going to touch on some of the themes I liked in Toy Story 4 that I couldn't talk about because, hey, spoilers. All right, so Toy Story 4, as it starts off, it kind of shows Woody and Bo Peep. It shows their departure, which I love because that's a great tie-in and an explanation, and it shows why she wasn't in Toy Story 3. So that was solid. So after Toy Story 3, now all the toys, they belong to Bonnie, because Toy Story 3 was all about moving on, and Andy's moved on and he's passed on the toys to a new generation. But Bonnie's in preschool, she's really shy, so out of garbage, she makes this new toy. She makes Forky, because Bonnie made the perfect plaything, a spork. It's a plastic spork. Actually, it would have been better if it was just a spoon, because it was like, oh, it's a spoon, it's a plastic spoon, but you know what? Boy, your spoon's a T-1000. You never did that? Me neither. That... Total. Also, Forky, come on, he kind of looks like Mr. Bill. You remember Mr. Bill? Ask your parents if you don't. Tell me Forky doesn't look like Mr. Bill. And now that Forky is a toy, through the love and belief of a child, Forky's come to life. He's sentient and he's new to this whole being alive thing, so he's basically like a child. And so that's the whole thing, is that Forky gets away and Woody's like, we have to get Forky back to Bonnie. Forky's important to her, so this is very important. We gotta do it. And among the many messages in this movie, one of them is it's Woody trying to find his place. And I really like that. It shows maturity on Woody's part. But wait, there's more. The movie goes deeper. So they go to the antique shop where a really creepy doll that looks like Annabelle's daughter. She seems nice. She seems way too nice, and that's how you know she's probably the villain. Kids don't want her. She has a broken voice box. So yeah, she wants to take Woody's. So basically, this is now a horror movie. This is what I was talking about with horror elements. Not just because the ventriloquist dummies, because those were creepy as well, but it's the fact that the plot is actually this villain wants to take an organ from the hero and so it could live. That's horror movie plot. Woody's gonna find himself in an icy bathtub. The icy bathtub's the only thing that's missing, which doesn't really work out, because even when it's like, oh yeah, I have the new voice box, I've taken it from Woody, now he's stitched on his spine, the voice box works, and the little girl's like, and tosses her anyway. Which wasn't gonna work from the get-go. Like, I was like, if this movie is actually realistic, some kid's gonna look at that thing and be like, nope, because no kid's gonna be like, I'm here really looking for a doll that maybe my grandma played with when she was young. Bingo. But I like that in the end, they made her a sympathetic villain. Yeah, her goons are creeps. Yeah, she's a bit intense. Yeah, she wants to harvest Woody's organs. But in the end, she just wants to be loved. Granted, in the end, Glenn Close from Fatal Attraction just wanted to be loved. Sometimes they can go a bit too far. But her little voice box was messed up from the get-go. She just kind of had a raw deal. I mean, anyone watching this could probably relate to that in some capacity. Going back, Bo Peep. I really liked Bo Peep, because Bo Peep was the introduction to a new concept to the entire Toy Story universe. A new concept to the consciousness of toys even. Bo Peep's like, what if we're nomads? What if we don't live for kids? We don't live for people. We live for our own happiness. That's huge. That's a huge lesson, because everyone at some point in their life's been told, no, you're here and you fit in this box and this is what you live for. This is how you're supposed to do it. And at a point we kind of realize, what if I just live for me? That's kind of the lesson here, because I mean, I took it for granted. Oh, toys live for kids, but they're also conscious, so do they? Do they always? What if some of them are like, I don't want to do that? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with living for your happiness. So I'm glad Bo Peep introduced that, and I'm glad by the end, like, Woody chose that. And that's where I found the theme of this movie kind of redundant to Toy Story 3 at first, and then I was like, no, it's a deeper step into that direction that Toy Story 3 initially carved. Because Toy Story 3 was all about growing up and letting go, and Andy did that. He grew up, he let go, he passed his toys off to Bonnie. But still, the toys are conscious, so what about them? They just lost their best friends, so are they growing up? Are they moving on? And that's what this movie's about. Which I do wonder, like, where does it stop? Where does the spiral stop? Bonnie can move on if her dad's like a big man-child and he like plays with his pocket watch or something. Is the pocket watch alive? I will say that's an unexpected turn. I didn't expect to see Woody go, yeah, I'm just kind of leaving it all. I mean, I thought Toy Story 3 wrapped up as a perfect trilogy. I didn't expect a 4. After 4, I don't expect a 5. Doesn't mean it can't happen. I wonder what'll happen. Will Tom Hanks return in some capacity? I don't think he needs to. When characters find their resolution and they go away and they're like, oh, I have found happiness now. I don't like it when a story brings them back into the fold, because I feel like that compromises the happiness they found. It's just me. And I want to clarify what I said in my movie review for Toy Story 4. I said something along the lines of, isn't it crazy that the first Toy Story movie, which is probably the worst of the Toy Story movies, is still great? I wasn't calling it shit. I was indeed, if you look at it grammatically, I was calling it great. One of them has to be on the bottom, and by definition, the one on the bottom is the worst of them, the worst of the great movies in which all of them, including the worst, are great. Dude, it might be Toy Story 4. I haven't had enough time to process it at this point. Ask me again in about 10 years. You can't get caught up on semantics with me and my channel. It's just gonna drive you nuts. But yeah, I love Toy Story 4. I didn't expect to. I was looking forward to it, absolutely. I had to look forward to it, but that was a leap of faith, a blind leap of faith. I feel like Indiana Jones, like, all right, leap of faith, click, whoa, there's a platform there. They did it again. I did think when Duke Kaboom went over that ramp and he hit his head on the light bulb and went pop, I thought his head popped, to be honest with you. I laughed my ass off and I was like, oh, he lived. That's less funny. I mean, I'm glad he lived. I laughed thinking the man toy died. Is that bad of me? All right, so those are my spoiler-ish thoughts on Toy Story 4. Have you seen Toy Story 4? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. But sorry, I won't be able to get you a Child's Play review this weekend for the new Child's Play movie. I'll be out of town. There wasn't a screening for it in Seattle, so it comes out on Thursday. Guess what? Not gonna be here. I'll be about this present. Yeah, that's me. That's how I'll be. I'll be here to do a review to this capacity. Not at all. So if people aren't saying it's a big waste of time by Monday, if I feel like it, I'll do a review for it. If I feel like it. I won't know until Monday how I feel, whether or not I want to do a review for it. That's how I plan ahead, by the day. I won't know what Monday feels like until Monday is here. But we'll see what happens. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.